Hey gamers, it's G from the corner, fresh out of the shower, and you know, we had a really fat Nintendo Direct last week, or at least at the time of the recording it was last week. Like an hour-long showcase. There was so much announced, so much talked about. I gotta start covering this stuff. And you know, I'm gonna be honest, leading up to the show and after the show, there was a conversation my friends and I were having constantly. Not really a conversation, more of a debate. You see, there is a video game called, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called Super Mario Galaxy, came out in 2007, is going to have a movie, at least somewhat based around it, releasing next April, and is being re-released on the Switch alongside its sequel in just a bit over 2 weeks. Very, very exciting stuff. You know, I mean, the price isn't that exciting, but it's nice to see Galaxy be definitively re-released on the modern Nintendo systems, not as part of like a limited bundle or something. And see Galaxy 2 re-released on Nintendo systems at all. That's the half I'm more excited for. I personally prefer Galaxy 2 to Galaxy 1. I think that's kind of an unpopular opinion, but you know what? Maybe replaying Galaxy 2 again will change my mind. I don't know, it's been a while since I've played it. But anyway, the conversation that's been coming up very much, like a lot within my circle, but has branched out to everyone else because, I mean, you see all of this and, you know, your mind can only go to one place. Maybe Nintendo should do a Super Mario Galaxy 3, and I'm here to tell you all why that's not happening and why it would be a terrible idea. I have been brewing this argument in my mind for years, but I have never had the opportunity to unleash it. But now, because everybody can simply only predict what they already see right in front of them, people think that Mario Galaxy 3 is a realistic thing to expect out of Nintendo and is something that is exciting. And I mean, like, no, I don't think it's very exciting at all. So for starters, let's talk about Mario Galaxy 2. Mario Galaxy 2 is a very interesting case. It is the only instance of a direct sequel, straight up, like, 3D Mario game gets sequel that is basically just more of the same. That never has happened. That never happened before. It hasn't happened since. People thought it was going to happen with Odyssey, but it did not. That game didn't even get any sort of DLC or anything. So, like, why did this happen? If some of you hardcore Nintendo fans, you know, some did you know gamers, if you will, did you know gamers, it's a very dumb term. Some people might know that Mario Galaxy 2 started out as DLC for Mario Galaxy, but the Wii actually couldn't really handle DLC, or at least not the size of the DLC. The system didn't have much internal memory, and SD card storage was only used to carry channels and applications between the Wii and an SD card. You couldn't actually load anything directly off of a SD card. You had to use the internal memory, which was very, very small. So, you know, this didn't really pan out for them. They couldn't do it. So instead, they just took all those ideas and added a ton more and made a whole sequel out of it. And, you know, in some areas, it kind of shows. Galaxy 1 had a lot more cohesion. The worlds were much more lively, and they felt like places, you know. They had a lot more missions in them, for one. Like, each galaxy had upwards of 6 or 7 different stars you could get in it, while Galaxy 2, some galaxies will only have 1, most will have like 2 or 3 tops, you know. There's not much going on. And by 3, I mean, like, there'll be a hidden star, right? There's not like 3 separate missions like there were for most of the major galaxies in Galaxy 1. And, you know, there's still some really cool thematic stuff, but it's a lot more about fun gameplay mechanics. There's a lot more 2D segments. There's some galaxies that are entirely 2D, which was not the case at all in the first game. And, you know, some of these galaxies are honestly pretty good, right? Like, personally speaking, I think Galaxy 2 has a lot of really tight level design and there's a lot of fun gameplay mechanics, whereas Galaxy 1 has these really creative environment, interesting worlds, but also does a lot of fun gameplay mechanics. But again, Galaxy 2 was a lot more of them coming up with new ideas and, you know, just doing whatever. Here's Mario turning into a boulder and bowling down an alley. Here's Mario being able to create platforms by shaking the Wii remote, you know. There was a lot of interesting stuff done there, but it was all gameplay mechanic stuff. It was all building off of Mario Galaxy 1 and making a sequel. Those games came out 15 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago now. They're not going to be building off of Mario Galaxy 2 to make Mario Galaxy 3. Mario Galaxy 3 is not going to exist because they didn't want to make they aren't making DLC for a Wii game, you know? Like, if they really wanted to make more Galaxy levels in that exact style that bad, they probably would just include them with this little bundle. They'd probably be like, here's the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and if you buy both of them, you get, like, extra levels or something silly like that. But they clearly don't care to do that, you know? And the other point, the bigger point, I think, is what is Mario Galaxy 3? You know, like when somebody online says, I want Super Mario Galaxy 3, what are you asking for exactly? Are you asking for more of Mario Galaxy 1? More of Mario Galaxy 2? Because again, while they are both cut from the same cloth, Galaxy 2 is much more about just kind of throwing a gameplay mechanics at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's very much you go to a place and then you go to the next place, whereas you can't really, there's not really a lot to do in each of the galaxies in Galaxy 2, you know, as opposed to Galaxy 1. So which one is it? You know, like what do you want Galaxy 3 to be? Do you want it to be neither, right? Because like that's probably what Nintendo would do. Let's be honest, Nintendo, at least the major development teams within Nintendo, don't really make games just to make new games. The only series that I can think of within the walls of EPD itself that gets new entries just on the sole purpose of we need a new entry in this series is like Splatoon. There's not really new gimmicks with each Splatoon game, you know, like there's new stuff, but it's not like they reshape everything about it, right? Even Animal Crossing, a series you'd think would be iterative, look at New Horizons. That completely rethought the entire structure of the series, you know? Mario's the same way. Why didn't we get a 2D Mario for 12 years? Because they were busy thinking of new ideas, how to make the game fresh and interesting, right? After making a few stagnant titles for a while, you know? That's the thing. Galaxy 2 was also from the era of Mario stagnation. It was the game that was kind of right around the start of that, you know? There were 4 new Super Mario Bros. Games, 2 Mario Galaxies. 3D Land, you could technically say, got a sequel on the Wii U, but that game, I don't know. In my mind, I feel like it's even less of a sequel than Galaxy 2 to Galaxy, even though the progression is still quite similar. It's a multiplayer game. The levels are designed for multiplayer. Like, there was different design mythos with that game as opposed to Galaxy. Well, you know what? Okay, you know what? For the sake of me not looking like a total idiot, we're going to call 3D World also a direct sequel to 3D Land. Why did that happen? They wanted to do more 3D Land, and they thought it'd be great to make it a co-op multiplayer game because the Wii U was the party system. That was their idea. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense for them to go back to it, right? And again, I think it's something that, especially not the big EPD. Again, it's been 8 years since Mario Odyssey came out. Do you think the first 3D Mario after all that time is just going to be Mario Galaxy 3? That sounds a bit odd, I'm going to be honest. That sounds like something you would have had like the Bonanza team doing. You know how like EPD 8 clearly has been split up into 2 teams, one making Bonanza and the other making the next 3D Mario? Like, I would expect the younger team to be doing, you know, more Mario Galaxy. How do we get them to get their footing? They should make another Mario Galaxy. People want that, and, you know, it's something we could do. But again, even that, like, it's just, I'm thinking back to Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy has some of the most limiting control in any 3D Mario. The only one that rivals it would be like 3D Land and like base 3D World. Bowser's Fury even has more freeing control, right? So, like, what, are we going to go back to that gameplay style? Like, again, there's so many, like, I brought this argument up to multiple friends of mine, and they will always say, well, no, it's okay, we'll fix the gameplay style, you know, make it feel better, or we'll, like, you know, change how the level structure works. But at that point, it's not Galaxy anymore. It's just Mario, but with a space theme. It's just the Moon Kingdom from Odyssey. But, like, it's the whole game now, you know? Like, it's not like they can never use the idea of space ever again. Heck, all the console 3D Marios after Galaxy 2 have used space at some point. You know, 3D World's bonus levels take place in space. Odyssey's entire finale takes place on the moon, right? They clearly like the idea of using space in Mario, but they probably got their feeling of using it for an entire game. You know, they used it twice for 2 whole games that are very, like, they feel, it's just weird, the idea of a Galaxy 3 happening. And I mean, the big reason, obviously, that people are talking about it is that it's the anniversary, and they're using Mario Galaxy to really push the anniversary, right? Now, here's something I should probably say. When the first Mario movie came out, they released Super Mario Bros. Wonder later that year. And I kind of feel like it was a bit of quasi-marketing. You know, the idea was a bunch of kids watched the movie, and then they wanted to get Switches for Christmas because there's a new Mario on it, right? Let's sell the new Mario. And the game that sold gangbusters. It hit like 20 million units sold. It's a fantastic game. Totally deserves that. But, you know, like, why? So, like, okay, here comes Mario Movie 2. They have this time explicitly told us that Mario Movie 2 is the big 40th anniversary celebration. Why? Because the line's up like that. It doesn't even really line up like that, but technically the anniversary just happened. So, like, it's not really, you're not even halfway through. Actually, you're a bit over halfway through the anniversary year, but you know what? It's fine. It's still within the 40 years of Super Mario Brothers, so sure, why not? The Galaxy movie is the big thing, and these games are here to tide us over into until the release of the movie. This is what they want to market alongside the movie, that they're bringing Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 back, and they're releasing amiibos. If they really wanted to make Galaxy 3, then they would tie Galaxy 3 into the release of the movie. Are they going to try and sell all 3 games next year? I don't know. Maybe they will. Honestly, my prediction was that 3D Mario would be the holiday game, and that, you know, people would watch the movie and then they'd be like, here's a Mario game that holiday, but they seem to want to have the game out before the movie this time. It's a cool tie-in. I really like it because, you know, obviously the movie, there's this stupid idea. Well, it's not in the reaction video because I didn't want to upload that part because that footage is getting copyright claimed like crazy, but at the start of the reactions, good friend of the channel, one of the people watching with us, he just straight up says, oh my gosh, it's the Mario movie game? Like a game based on the Mario movie, which is based on the game, right? That doesn't make any sense to me, but it's something that people think of because people are like, well, what are they going to do with this franchise? They're going to do a thing that we've thought of. Oh my God. Remember when people were saying that like there was going to be a Mario and Donkey Kong 3D platformer? Like that was the gimmick of the next Mario 3D platformer, that it wasn't a Mario game? Like, I don't know, man. You know, I love EPD Tokyo because they just do whatever, right? Whatever they're doing, you could never predict. Right, they're making the next 3D Mario right now, and it's going to be something literally unpredictable. And if it's Galaxy 3, I'm just going to be like, well, whatever. That's the thing, right? Like, if Galaxy 3 exists, am I going to be mad? Not really. I don't really care that much. I mean, like, Galaxy 1 and 2 are some of the best games ever made. EPD Tokyo making a new 3D Mario means that it's probably going to be up there with those games. But will it be like that good? Like, will it be that good? I don't know, but like it just doesn't sound like a very creative idea, and I love when that team just does something brand new. I used to want an Odyssey sequel, and like, you know, I was hearing even as recent as this year people say, what if the next 3D Mario is Odyssey 2? And to that I'm just like, bro, it's just the time has passed. If they had ideas for an Odyssey 2, they would have done them already, but they haven't. And here we are, right? People are speculating that because we are getting a movie and we are getting ports, that we have to be getting this other thing that we would definitely not be hearing about until after the movie has come out, right? They're releasing Amiibo alongside the movie. They want to market the movie with Amiibo. What would a Galaxy 3 even have to do with the movie? It would literally just be in name only. Rosalina's not even in Galaxy 2. She's probably going to be a major character in this movie, but she's like not even in the second game. It's so stupid. It's genuinely so dumb. I don't expect it. I see no reason as to why they would want to do it. If they want to do Mario in space again, sure, go for it. Like, it probably wouldn't be Galaxy. It'd probably be something different. Maybe they'd be like, we wanted to do a new Mario Galaxy, but we wanted to have the open world sandbox style of Mario Odyssey, so we called it Mario Universe, because now you're exploring the whole universe, or something like that, you know? Like, Galaxy 3 just seems a bit redundant, doesn't it? I don't know. They could definitely. We're talking about literally the best modern team in damn industry. I think they could come up with something better than let's do that game we did twice, but again, you know. But that's just me. I think it'd be dumb. I think it'd be kind of creatively bankrupt, honestly, if they did Galaxy 3. But again, they could show me Galaxy 3 and it could be the greatest game ever made. I just don't think it's happening. I think expecting it or speculating it is a fool's errand, and you're going to look like a fool. You're going to look like an idiot. If you say Galaxy 3 is happening a year from now, you're going to look like an idiot when they announce Super Mario Cold Open, the fully open world 3D Mario that everybody thought was going to happen like 6 years ago when Bowser's Fury came out. This is a pointless video. It's a very fun, but it's a fun video. It's a pointless video, but it's a fun video. I don't know. I don't think Galaxy 3 is happening. I don't think it really is ever happening. That's really all I have to say about that, though. Keep yourselves cornered for more on all the stuff from that Nintendo Direct and the stuff coming out soon, because, again, there's a lot of Nintendo things coming out soon. This probably isn't the last time I'm going to talk about Mario Galaxy before this anniversary celebration is over. I'm sure I'll talk about the movie and probably talk about the ports. I'll probably talk about the Galaxy 2 port since that's the one I'm picking up. I'll just replay Galaxy 1 on 3D All-Stars and, you know, maybe do a little legacy review. We'll see. Yeah, keep yourselves cornered for more of that, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.